You're still watching Ways. Now, January 13th officially marks the National Gluten-Free Day. National Gluten-Free acknowledges those who are facing health concerns due to gluten. Gluten is an enriched protein added to select grains to improve their baking qualities and increase their ability to rise. Now, according to Rosie McFarther of TPMG Gastroenterology, Newport News, a gluten-free diet means avoiding food that contains wheat, rye, and barley, typically found in bread. Gluten can also sneak up in beers, sauces, dressing, and food manufactured on shared equipment used to process gluten-containing products. Now, gluten-free diets are not suitable for everyone and should be started only with the advice of your doctor or the gastroenterologist. That's it. So happy gluten-free day. Who is allergic to gluten?
I'm not allergic.
But do you take it?
Yeah, I mean, if you eat bread, I mean, typically in Nigeria,
bread, pasta, anything.
We don't do gluten-free. Yeah, everything here.
Everything.
It's wheat forms the basis of a lot of our food. So it's actually difficult. It's not easy to live a gluten-free lifestyle. A lot of foods that you have to find alternatives for, and Nigeria is not a place for alternatives, right? So what it will cost you to buy regular 300 naira or 400 naira pasta, if you're going to buy a gluten-free version, it's like a few thousand naira. So yes, it's not the easiest of lifestyles.
And it's not like it's going to fill you more.
Yes, but some people unfortunately don't have the choice. Some people are allergic and you know, when you are, it can be quite uncomfortable. So the bloating, all the sort of symptoms of that allergy is really quite bad. So some people who choose to live gluten-free, you know, say that it has
I think I should actually live gluten-free because I easily get, no, it's true, I easily get
I would like to everyone just to direct you to Owa's Instagram today and just confirm that Owa cannot live a gluten-free lifestyle. That's just
so. Let me redirect you back. When you check the Instagram post that I posted, go and see who I thanked for the burger.
So I haven't said that you shouldn't thank me. Why did you say no? All I said was
redirect.
You said you want to live a gluten-free lifestyle, and I'm just sharing with the public that you cannot.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult in Nigeria because it's part of the culture already. Exactly. So imagine telling people don't eat rice, and
it's going to be a lot more expensive. That's the challenge.
It is.
It's not even so much of the expense.
So you are even talking about the expense. Forget the expense. Finding gluten-free stuff
is hard. It's hard and it's very expensive. It's an expensive lifestyle.
And some people don't even have an idea what gluten is, whether it's in their food or not. So they will eat whatever they want to eat.
Exactly.
Okay, on that note, Norma, let's continue.
All right, so my story is probably the other extreme from what we're talking about, because we're just talking about food. But now I'm going to talk about something a little bit uncomfortable, so I hope I don't annoy or make someone disgusted. It's about a man who found a cockroach, or who had cockroach lodged in his ear for 3 days and removed after 3 days. So the story goes that this 40-year-old Zane Wedding went swimming last week. So those who swim, pay attention, look at the water very well. And then he left with more than what he bargained for. A cockroach was burrowed inside his left ear and stayed there for 3 days. Now, interestingly, he went to the hospital. I mean, he tried everything, tried to clean his ears, do everything possible until he went to the hospital, and his doctor suggested that he would even use a blow dryer. Maybe water got lodged in his ear. So here he was, tried everything, using the hot the dryer and everything else, basically cleaning his ear. And then by Monday, he says, you know what, I'm going to go back to the hospital. And he goes and, what did they call that? ENT, ear, nose and throat doctor looked into his ears and said, oh, I believe there's a cockroach lodged in your ear. And finally, he brought down, he was thinking, so here I was frying this cockroach in my ear with the hot dryer.
Are you sure?
Oh yes.
That it was from the swimming pool. I'm just wondering.
Because it was after he swam and came out that you know how you go into the pool and you come out, you feel, oh, my ears are full with water, and he thought, okay, this was going to go, he will hit his ear and all of that. So these things happen.
This man is in America.
You know, of course.
In Nigeria,
You know, here.
In Nigeria, you don't jump on one leg.
No, I just want
He
to say-
did everything.
No,
He
no,
jumped
no.
on
I just
one
want to
leg,
say
all of that.
That's in Nigeria. Cockroaches everywhere. You don't really need to go to the swimming pool. Some people are asleep and cockroach come and say hello.
Even on their beds.
Exactly. So,
well, I think one should just be very
careful.
Anywhere. It's not just in the pool. Why are you looking at me like that?
it just makes me cringe. I'm like,
I hate cockroaches already.
Now, I think they've given me something to talk about and not to talk about anymore, because I've been talking about Twitter ban in one way or the other. Whenever I get something on Twitter ban, I talk about it. So now we have our one and only Tinubu saying that he hails federal government for lifting the Twitter ban, and he says that it's a commendable effort by the federal government for concluding the negotiations between them and Twitter. So currently, Twitter is working, and
rather convenient.
I've not tweeted my first. I've not.
Twitter is working.
your first
and
legal
I'm
tweet.
happy.
My first
You will
legal
call
tweet.
you criminals.
And you know, this is not coming from anywhere other than the fact that, you know, he's going to use this to push his campaign. Of course.
It is well. Let's move on. How much did we lose again?
You
I
people
heard.
have so
How much
little
did we
faith.
lose again?
I've lost track of the number.
I
Back
heard-
then, it was
I
a
heard about
ridiculous
400
number.
billion.
Whatever.
You know. Quickly, Uti, your story.
My story is short and a little funny, but quite sad. So the headline says, Lagos Southeast low applications extend Constables recruitment. So this is the Nigeria Police Force has extended the online registration in the ongoing 2021 Constables recruitment by 10 days. So the police force is trying to recruit police officers, to which they got 81,005 applications, of which only 1,400 were from 5 states in the southeast and Lagos. So Anambra only had 158 applicants, and the whole Lagos state only had 261 applicants. Now, you could pick it apart and say why. Some people have said it's because the force is full of northerners, you won't progress if you don't speak house. There's so many reasons, but I just think that, look, in a country where unemployment figures are as high as they are, when an employer as big as the Nigeria Police Force can't find employees, then they need to ask themselves why. And the constable is not a particularly senior rank, so this is you starting.
So
From scratch.
that's the question I want to ask again. What is the entry level for salaries in terms of the police, and what's the entry level
And
for
what are the
corporate
benefits?
organizations?
Off your mic.
What
I'm
are
trying
the
to-
benefits?
I'm
Have
trying to
anything
say
really
it.
changed?
So I mean, I'm not
You
trying
wait,
to,
Uti. Will you
I'm
go
not
and
trying
join
to
police?
look. I'm not trying to play back to. Do you remember the videos of their training camp and how they looked? And so I mean, I can
Now you
understand
brought it back to me.
why, you know, in the south, it's not a viable source of employment. So I just want to say
I'd
that
rather sit down at
the
home
police force
and be
needs to
pressing
look
computer.
at. They need to look
I
at
think
Yeah, so they need to look. They
what
need
it
to
means
look.
to be
Yes, they need
a
to look at
complete
everything.
total overhaul in the
Yeah.
police.
All right, so let me quickly take my story. It's quite sad as well. So they say they caught 2 guys is a video. They caught 2 guys in Delta State posing to be EFCC operatives, and they nabbed the guy. In this video, they were seen, you know, shouting them down, almost beating them, almost lynching them in Ughelli in Delta State. So please, I would like the EFCC to look into this, and hopefully, I'm even hoping that I am hoping that, first of all, some kind of structure is put in place that we don't have these kinds of issues anymore, where somebody can just come and form police, form army, form whatever. If the government is really thinking through all of these things,
Restructuring the
you understand, can we find a way that if maybe you have like an identification or something, I can just scan the way you test for the drug, if it is original, authentic or something, a proper identification that,
Procedure.
yes, that you can tell that these people are real. So apparently these people have been doing a lot of deals. If you hear the video, they were talking about how they've been, what's it called? Arresting people
Extorting,
terrorizing
illegally,
people.
extorting people and all of that. So again, okay, you want to
So I'm just going to say that, I mean, I don't think that the core problem here is identification. I think that it's profitable for you to impersonate an
EFCC.
official. That's why you're doing it.
Yeah.
So it's more looking at what the EFCC is doing. We talked about stories on the show here before where people are paying obscene amounts of money to get a job at the EFCC. So the EFCC itself needs to question, what are your people doing? What is it that is making this seem like such a profitable thing? Because trust me, if it was the Nigerian police, don't nobody impersonate the Nigerian police. People do. Not in the sense that nobody wants to work for the Nigerian police. So in the context of what we just said, so I think that they just need to ask
it's
themselves
a lucrative
more questions.
business. I can tell, because if you can get the boldness to go and impersonate, it's just like people impersonating customs. I mean, our security operatives.
And they don't have a uniform.
Yes,
They
a
come
lot of
out
people
in
actually
nothing.
impersonate
Yeah.
soldiers, what's it called, custom operatives. All of those things is in a bit, because again, it's a system where extortion is not a big deal. Extortion is normalized, right?
Yeah.
So you can actually impersonate and say, I'll arrest you. Because again, they have intels on this thing. So they know that you are guilty and you cannot follow them to the station. So, okay.
It's a lot of.
On that note,
And they don't know their rights.
we'll take a break now. When we return from the break, we want to discuss drug use. Stay with us. We'll be right back.